Wednesday, October 22nd. This I traded QQQ and I made $1,500. So this is it. This zone right here was the determining zone. I marked my zone, and yesterday QQQ, the low of the day on QQQ was in this zone 609.32, and so my plan was that, okay, if the market, so that was the low of the day, the high of the day was 612.71, and then yesterday there was some news that broke out and the market fell, and it fell again back to this zone. So we can see when you have to look at the common zone. So you can see here price reacted here. Well, this is not, let's go from yesterday. Price reacted here, here, the same zone. It has reacted here. So you can see why I marked that zone coming into today. And so then after market close, around 5, right after market close, Netflix also had earnings, and they did not do well, and so Netflix fell. I'm sure that added to QQQ falling, NQ falling. So this is what happened overnight. This is the movement overnight here. So you can see that the whole night NQ, or NQ did not do much. It just stayed around where it ended at market. That's it. So then I was just watching that, and then coming to the morning, the market was able to break VWAP here and go to 611. But whatever it did, it never broke past yesterday's high. It never went past yesterday's high, which is 612.76. So that you want to watch out for that, because that's telling you that it's a bearish, that we are you begin to consider a bearish move, especially since with the way the market has been, the issue of tariff and China, and the Netflix falling, and the market not doing much overnight. And even when it did till 6:43 a.m., it couldn't break the previous day high. And then by the time the market for stocks is opening at 7:30, it didn't do much. Still, actually fell. So it fell back to this zone. So this zone now is our determining factor zone. If price breaks past the zone, then it has broken structure, and now we have to think about going short or buying puts. So now the market opened, and this is 9:30, the 9:30 candle, and immediately it fell right into this zone. So then my next thing is, okay, let's see what price does. Is it going to be bought right back up and push past yesterday's high or pre-market high? And that would be a bullish sign if it does that. So let's see what happened. So right here, this was a huge sign for me. Right here, you could see price came and broke it. It broke it, so it invalidated this zone because it broke it. Now, whether it holds or what the determining factor of my trade is going to be, if it's going to be bought back up very fast, and how fast buyers are going to step in, and if buyers are going to push it enough to break pre-market high or yesterday's high, right? If it breaks those levels, then we are thinking bullish. But this for me was already a huge sign, because it broke this whole structure. It broke the pre-market low, it broke yesterday's low, right? So that tells you that we are bearish. So now what I'm looking for is, that's a bell, the market just closed. What I'm looking for now is if it's going to get bought right back up and break back this level and break VWAP and go up, then we'll consider it bullish. And if it goes up there, if it's going to break pre-market high or yesterday's high and hold up and keep going, then we'll consider bullish. But for me, immediately this happened, I was like, oh, that is a huge bearish sign. So what I was looking for at this point was a retest of this zone and for it to come back down. Okay, so let's see what happened. So we can see it's going back to retest the zone. Okay, so you can see what happened here. It came down some more, and then it came, and then price went back and broke this zone. So we are still waiting to see if price is going to come back down, you know, especially it hasn't broken our pre-market high nor our yesterday's high, so we're still not sure whether we're going to hold short or long. And so let's continue. And so price keep going. Okay, is it going to break VWAP? It broke the VWAP. Let's see, it's going up. Okay, so I'm sure some people took long here, right? Especially this is a buy zone, but I didn't. I thought to myself that because it broke and came right down, it was invalidated. So I was only looking for short at this point. I was waiting for it to hold. There's an opportunity for it to come back down here, and then I'll think short. And so waiting to see what happened here. One major big issue here that was holding QQQ was SPY. For SPY to be bearish, I think 670 had to break, and SPY was hanging around 670 something and not actually wanting to break 670. And if whenever SPY was hanging, QQQ could not break. But this could have been a great trade for somebody to have made, but not me. So we could see here that QQQ went up here, went up there, and this candle here shows that sellers were stepping in. And remember, yesterday's high was 611.83. So, but it got here to 611.41, and we can see this long wick, which means that sellers pushed it down. And then the next candle that showed was an indecision candle, and followed by, you could tell now that, oh, sellers are taking over. So now what are we waiting for is if it's going to come back here and break this and come back to this zone. If it does and it gets down here, then it's time to get in. For me, I was waiting for it to come and break VWAP. So let's see what happened here. And see here that price is still hanging around up and down, mainly because SPY was not breaking 670, and so you could see QQQ just going up and down. But you can see here that this is a double top, and if it breaks this VWAP and breaks the neckline here and breaks the VWAP, chances are that we're coming down. Look at that. All this movement and choppiness was because SPY was not breaking 670. It was just hanging, not really making a decision as to what direction it wants to go. One thing I want to mention that is supposed to be a huge lesson and mistake that I've made a lot and I'm learning from is the fact that since this was my zone, that if it breaks it, then it has broken structure. A lot of the time, it is very easy for the moment you see that it has broken the structure to just jump in, right? To just jump in and to say, oh, look at, like here, like to say, oh, it broke here, and you jump right in, especially since pre-market low was broken, right? So to see that and say, oh, pre-market low is broken, I can jump right in. So it's easy to do that. But remember, you have to wait for a break and retest, because sometimes it can break, and like we see here, and it goes to retest and it doesn't come back right away. So it almost went right back. So if you entered here, you'll be at a huge loss. So that is something to watch out for. Okay, it's breaking VWAP now, so we are watching out. It's coming down. I think this was a good point for me. Around here was when I saw that SPY broke 670, and I was like, okay, SPY broke 670, SPY broke its pre-market low, and I know that, okay, I knew that QQQ was not going to make it. So then I entered my position. I entered my position right here around 609. Okay, we can see that we're breaking down here. We're breaking down here. So, moving my stop loss. We're breaking, continue to break down here. continued holding. And I close there.